Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Ananda, the Galactic Mystic. Let's talk about this new moon in Gemini conjunct Royal Fixed Star Aldebaran. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. On this channel, I talk about astrology, mysticism, folk magic, following the natural cycles of life, and navigating the leading edge of consciousness and conscious relationships. We are finally closing out our first eclipse cycle, eclipse season of 2022. With this new moon in Gemini, we close that out, but that eclipse energy will continue to be at work in the background of our lives, in the background of our world, until the next one begins. I think it's in October, later in the year. Now, to have this new moon right at the tails of eclipse season, conjunct Aldebaran is really, really beautiful. And I'm just going to go ahead and say, we are going through collective trauma, and there's just tragedy after tragedy on the news. If you watch the news, even if you don't, in our day-to-day lives, just things for a lot of folks are really, really hard right now. And even if it's not particularly hard in your life circumstances, a lot of times being there for others can lead to compassion fatigue. So I just want to take this moment and take a deep breath with you, and just to let you know that we are all in this together. And I feel the exhaustion and the waves of bliss and hope all at the same time. Just want to remind you to take care of yourself too. Compassion fatigue is a real thing, and your wellness, your emotional, mental, spiritual, physical wellness matters. It's okay to retreat in order to recharge. So this is going to be, I think, a pretty short video today. This new moon is not making any major aspects, which is fascinating. And I could go into the harmonics and the minor aspects, but I really think that there's plenty to talk about just with what the basics of what we've got going on here. So our new moon is at 9 degrees and 3 minutes of Gemini on May 30th, 2022 at 7:30 a.m. and that's Eastern Standard Time. So this new moon conjunct Aldebaran, the star of illumination. This is the brightest star in the constellation of Taurus, and it is in fact known as the Eye of Taurus. Now, Aldebaran is one of the 4 royal stars of Persia, and it is directly across the zodiac from another of the royal fixed stars, Antares. And this is the only exact opposition of 2 major stars. And so it creates this sort of locked in axis of power. Aldebaran at 9 degrees of Gemini, Antares at 9 degrees of Sagittarius. And this creates a really powerful funnel axis of energy. This is a type of energy that connects the head and the heart and actually asks us to open, recalibrate, connect with, learn about, etc., the high heart chakra. Now, this is the chakra located over our thymus gland. It is slightly above the heart chakra, and it basically represents a type of energy where we can pull our unconditional divine spiritual love up through our channel and then allow understanding, wisdom, and consciousness to come down and ground into it. And it is this type of energy where we are actually able to build the type of societal structures that the evolution of humanity needs to survive. We're at this point, and it's time to start operating from our high heart. What I said earlier about being aware of compassion fatigue, that is noticing that and then taking care of it, taking care of ourselves so we can take care of others, is something that happens when we are operating from our high heart. This is the dance of the polarity of the head and heart, and it is here where it can synthesize. And honestly, even most of the historical sources only have wonderful things to say about Aldebaran. Romantic, artistic, high material honors, great energy, perseverance, steadfastness, integrity, courage, all sorts of beautiful, beautiful characteristics and energies are associated with this star. The Akkadians called this star the messenger of light. And like I said earlier, to the Persians, it was one of the 4 royal stars known as the Watchers of Heaven. The other 3 watchers being fixed stars Regulus, Fomalhaut, and Antares, as I mentioned earlier. Aldebaran represents the Watcher of the East and is connected to Archangel Michael. Now, it is said that there's a connection to the Elohim race in Aldebaran, and many believe that Yeshua was one of the Elohim. Now, there are many different ideas about this. I like exploring them all. I don't think anyone really, really knows for sure because much is still hidden. But it's interesting to think about. And so there's a lot of really beautiful spiritual energy here. And I take this as a really good sign, a sign of hope after, we are just experiencing one trauma after another. And I think most of us know that is the path of evolution when it's in a critical stage, like we are in now. However, the complexities of human emotion, we cannot forget that we are human beings and we've got to take care of ourselves. So let me bring up the chart and let's look at it together and just sort of talk it out a little bit. So here is our new moon at 9 degrees and 3 minutes of Gemini. We have the ruler of Gemini, Mercury retrograde, who is conjunct the North Node, who is also conjunct Uranus. So this can have us taking a very different directions. We may even be changing, just like stopping in our tracks, turning around and going back to something that we thought we were done with, and it actually is our new path. Uranus is going to shake things up for us for a while. We also have Venus in the house here in Taurus, who is bringing our consciousness back to the earth, to beauty, to sanity, calmness, our values, and really connecting with the animal kingdom, the mineral kingdom. And let's just put our feet in the grass, right? We still have this Mars-Jupiter conjunction in Aries, and this is really wearing a lot of us out. If you're feeling weary, if others around you are needing extra support and that has you feeling weary, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why, but this Mars-Jupiter conjunction could be part of that picture. And thankfully, the cycles are always moving, the planets are always moving. It won't always feel like it feels right now. And we have a lot going for us. So bottom line, Gemini New Moon energy, this is the seeking to understand. And if we bring in the layer of high heart intention, let's just use that as our filter. How can I understand without needing to be right? How can I explore without needing to arrive at a certain destination? The Gemini Sagittarius axis is very much about processing truth, discovery, exploring and processing information. The Gemini aspect of that is about taking the present and then exploring the microcosm, asking more questions that lead to more questions, and being okay in that state of uncertainty, being able to pivot, being able to change directions, to switch it up, and to not need to know exactly how it's going to turn out. I've been saying this a lot lately, and there's really something pulling us as a collective to learn to rely more on our instinctual nature. And this is very much in alignment with our leading guidance with the North Node in Taurus and all of this supportive Taurus energy. So I hope you have a beautiful, restful, joyous new moon in Gemini. Would be a really nice time to set up a new moon altar. Archangel Michael at the ready, I would assume. So connecting with the angelic realms, connecting with the archangels. I will mention too, there is a very powerful protective energy here, like the feminine protective energy is very, very strong. I've said a couple times that with everything that's going on in the world, it seems like the feminine is just trying to not burn it all down. There is a very powerful protection here. And I like to think of just the Earth Mother having all of our backs, put our feet on her. And there's also something about asking the Earth where on her body she needs you to be. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you have a beautiful Gemini new moon. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and I will see you soon.